Hello, welcome to this GTA 5 FPS benchmark test video. So today we have the 14-inch HP laptop. It is an upgraded laptop, so we do have 32 gigabytes of RAM on this machine and a 512 gigabyte M.2 SSD. So somebody asked me this question a few weeks ago about GTA 5 and the FPS performance, so that is why we are running this test. Actually, I have to do another GTA 5 benchmark test on another laptop as well. So GTA 5 seems to be like a really popular game. So if you're looking at the settings here, there's our video memory, which is a little bit over a gig being used right now. Long shadows off, everything's pretty much off. So the VSync was actually turned on half. So I kind of let that set on its own. But resolution wise, we are going with the max that I could. 1366 by 768, which is the max resolution on this computer. So on the bottom left corner, you're going to see that CPU is 100%. GPU is like 60 to 80 and 90%. So the CPU definitely being used a lot. So I think that's what limits this computer the most. Average FPS wise, I would say it's about 29 to 30, 25 to 30s, I would say. So if you can see the CPU is still at 100%. GPU 80s, RAM is about 23%. So everyone's saying that 16 gigabytes of RAM is perfect for this laptop. I agree, because 32 gigabytes is definitely overkill. As you can see, if you do the math, RAM is 25% being used. So 32 gigabytes, 25% of 32 gigabytes is 8 gigabytes of RAM. So we do rely on shared GPU memory as well. So having 16 gigabytes of RAM, 8 of that will be for the game. And then part of it is going to go to the shared GPU memory, if that makes sense. In the future, for other laptops, I'm going to try going 16 gigabytes of RAM instead of 32. Just to see how much shared GPU we get, if that makes sense. But here for the jet test, you can see that CPU is still running at 100%, and you do notice the lag a little bit. Overall, giving you guys a heads up, so there's 3 tests that I did, 3 different resolutions, and I would have to say that there wasn't much of a big difference. Overall, performance-wise, it's around 25 to 30 FPS. So, in my opinion, I think this car driving part, or the car chasing scene, is probably one of the most intense part of the game for the benchmark test, because you can see the lag there. And then you're also going to see some of the environment like disappearing, like the ground. Just kind of wait for it a little bit. So it does look really cool. So you saw that lag there. And then there we go. So you see the ground, it kind of disappeared. I don't know if that's a glitch or not, but it happened consistently for all 3 tests. Different resolutions, but kind of the same areas, the same parts. They kind of lag in the same parts, and then like the ground to kind of disappear on the same. I even did a reboot and same results. So second test, I moved the Xbox game bar on the upper left corner of the computer. So I did the lowest setting, 800 by 600 resolution. Aspect ratio is auto, and everything else is pretty much off. VSync is on half. So definitely a difference in terms of the resolution. In terms of FPS though, I feel like not much of a difference. The first test, which had 1366 by 768, I would have to say it's just lower just by a couple of FPS frames. So not a big deal. In my opinion, if you're gonna game on this thing, just go for the max anyways. That's just my opinion though. So CPU, you're seeing it run at 100% still. So that is probably what limits the CPU. Like I've said in my other videos, this is not a gaming laptop, but I do get a lot of questions about gaming. So here we are running FPS benchmark tests and stuff like that. I am learning a lot though as I go. So if you guys catch any errors, definitely let me know. So GPU wise, it's about 82%. RAM is still around 25%. So that's using about 8 gigs of RAM, like I said. Average FPS is still 30. I have to say though, I'm glad that they do have this benchmark test built into GTA 5. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, shout out to the comments for the person that mentioned this test to me. So that is how I found out about this FPS test for GTA 5. Because it's probably a lot more reliable than just me playing like the first couple minutes of the game. So that is great. That was a great tip. But yeah, so you guys are seeing the CPU still being really worked overtime, like I've said earlier. Crazy stuff. Yeah, the Xbox Game Bar is really cool too. So I won't be using Fraps anymore, I guess, because yeah, looking at forums, somebody suggested using the Xbox Game Bar, which comes with Windows 10 anyway. So, perfect tip over there. So here is the car chase scene. I don't even know if this is really a car chase scene, but I was assuming that they were being chased because they were shooting behind the car and stuff. So, interesting stuff. So 37. You see the FPS kind of going all over the place. Around 28-30. So like I said, not much of a difference. Well, you're gonna see the lag. You're gonna notice the lag. It's a little bit less laggy on the lowest resolution, but you can still see the ground disappear there. The lag right there. So I mean, in terms of if you don't mind that type of stuff, definitely playable. See a little bit more lag. So in my opinion, to be honest, if it was me, I'm a casual gamer, I wouldn't mind. And I know a lot of people are curious as to what the laptop can do with GTA 5. So here is the third and final test that I'm going to do. So it's kind of like the mid part. So it's 1024 by 768. So I moved the game bar on the lower right corner this time. So like there's a difference. In terms of CPU usage, again, overworked at 100%. GPU was like 60%. Still went up around 70s and 80s. RAM is still consistent at 24-25%. Average FPS around 30. So like I said, after doing all three tests, I feel like you could probably play on the max resolution of this laptop, 1366 by 768. And there wouldn't be much of an FPS difference, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else to add to this video. So you're gonna see the jet. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking way too much. But yeah, so GTA 5 seems like a really cool game, and there's an online version as well apparently. And then I learned that there's an RP version, but I don't know, I just don't trust it because when I tried to download the 5M, my AV would block it, and I can't risk I just can't risk it because other people are on the network as well. So as much as I want to try the 5M, the GTA 5 roleplay, it's just too risky for other people's devices in the house, in the network, because if something happens, it's all on me, and like some of them have work stuff, and it's just too much of a risk. So that's why we're doing benchmarking testing for regular GTA 5. So here is the car chase scene. So this FPS test is almost done. Yeah, to be honest, when I was I got used to doing 800 by 600 resolution when I was like a lot younger. So this is actually, to me, it's like I don't even really notice. It's a huge improvement for me. Once you get used to those 800 by 600 resolution, playing Mech Warrior, other games like that, this to me is like a huge step up in terms of like resolution wise. So yeah, that is pretty much it. You still notice the lag on the last test, so same thing pretty much. So yeah, like I said, CPU is probably being worked overtime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Take it easy.